Well, hello there. Today we're going to talk about BitCoin Billionaires by Ben Mezrich. So we're going to do a book review of this book. And this book was a really interesting one. So basically the story of this book is that if you've ever seen The Social Network, you'll be kind of aware of the Winklevoss twins. And if you haven't, the basic story is that Mark Zuckerberg, when he was developing Facebook, was hired by these two guys to develop a social network, and instead of doing that, he developed Facebook. And so they accused him of taking some of their ideas, and they sued him for it. And being very, very intelligent, making probably one of the smartest business decisions of all time, they, in the lawsuit, in the settlement, they decided to take Facebook stock rather than a financial benefit. And so that Facebook stock ended up being worth billions. And so really, as you look at this book, this book is the idea of the Winklevoss twins of what do they do after they have those billions. And so what they ended up finding out is they wanted to be Silicon Valley investors, but because of the social network and because of the story, they were kind of pariahs in Silicon Valley, that nobody wanted to work with them. And then they ended up hearing about Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is this, it's this kind of decentralized currency. It's the one that's the most valuable. It was the first, and they were some of the earliest investors in Bitcoin. They turned a lot of their money into Bitcoin and became billionaires basically off of Bitcoin. And what's so interesting about this story is it's kind of a mix of, stories. It's a mix of a Bitcoin startup, like a Bitcoin purchasing startup, because one of the challenges with Bitcoin is where do you buy it? And it's a mix of the Winklevoss twins, kind of their story of how they became billionaires in the Bitcoin world, which especially early on was a world filled with extremists and really interesting individuals. I think from my perspective, I like Ben Mezrich's books. I think they're very easy to read stories about the tech industry. I've also read the one about Facebook, and I'm blanking on the name of it at the moment. I wish they were a little bit fuller and told the story in a little bit fuller way. Because they're meant to be short and kind of short reads, they're a little bit you feel like you're missing some things at times. But overall, a really enjoyable book and a really interesting story about how Bitcoin kind of took charge and how the Winklevoss twins kind of overcame what ended up happening with them and Facebook.